for harmonization through a process commonly referred to as in parliamentary jurisdiction as winnowing. Essentially, since the Committee of the Whole House stage has very minimal debate, winnowing accords members with amendments an opportunity to discuss their proposed amendments at the relevant committee and attempt to harmonize them, with a view of recommending to the House which various proposed amendments should be accorded priority in the Committee of the Whole House. Indeed, in many instances, we have witnessed committee incorporate individual members' amendments as part of committee amendments after winnowing process. While some members opt to drop their proposed amendments as part of the compromise, they drop as part of the compromise. Regrettably, honorable members, I am informed that by the chairperson of the committee that while some members attended and discussed their proposed amendments with the committee, a number of other members either failed to turn up or left meeting before going through the harmonization process for reasons for one reason or the other, despite the opportunity accorded to and directive of the Speaker. Since all members ultimately retain the right to have their amendments published in the order paper for decision by the House, it is for this reason that I direct that amendments by all members be published in the order paper, including those that appeared not to have undergone the harmonization process. It is notable that despite this shortcoming, some of the amendments proposed by those members have been carried by the committee or leader majority party in the same form or in a modified version. Honorable members, it is further notable, as indicated in the order paper of today's morning, that the member for Lugari and the nominated member, the Honorable Godfrey Ososi, gave respective notices of withdrawal of their proposed amendments to the bill during the winnowing process, which took place yesterday, 28th December 2021, at the County Hall Mini Chamber, and was facilitated by the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 131. So, honorable members, I must reiterate the need for due legal and procedural consideration by all members when proposing amendments. Instructively, it is noted that some of the amendments offend the provisions of Standing Orders 133(5) in that they propose to unreasonably or unduly expand the subject of the bill, which in such amendments can only be proceeded with in accordance to provisions of Article 118 of the Constitution on public participation. As you may have noticed in today's order paper, the clerk has included a disclaimer subject to provisions of Standing Order 133(5) where necessary. As such, honorable members, I wish to guide the House as follows with regards to the amendments and those whose notice of withdrawal was given. 1. Given the respective notices of withdrawal and amendments proposed by the Honorable Ayub Savula and the Honorable Godfrey Ososi will not be considered by the Committee of the Whole House. 2. The proposal by the member for Kikuyu, the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, to insert new clauses 19A, 25A, 25B, 26A, and 26B, the member for Kilifi North, the Honorable Baya, to insert the new sections 19A, 25A, 25B, 26A, and 26B, and the member for Dagoretti South, the Honorable John Kiarie, to amend clause 20 in entirety and insert new sections 19A, 19B, 19C, 26B, and 26C, are all seeking to establish the Political Parties Registration Board and the Office of the Chief Executive Officer of the Board, alter the manner of appointment of the officials, and amend the terminology referring to the Office of Registrar to the Chief Executive Officer. I noted that these proposals fall short of the requirements of Standing Order 133(5). These are new amendments that ought to undergo public participation as required by the Constitution. Given the far-reaching changes envisioned therein and having gone outside the scope of the bill as printed, I therefore direct that the Committee of the Whole House shall not consider the proposed amendments to clause 20 by Honorable John Kiarie and insertion of clause 19 19A, 19B, 19C, 25A, 25B, 26A, 26B, and 26C as proposed by the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, Honorable Baya, and Honorable Kiaria, respectively. My decision on these new proposals also accords with various similar rulings by the Speaker and court judgments with respect to scope of amendments to a bill, particularly with regards to the need to show that the provisions of Article 118 of the Constitution on public participation in lawmaking is actualized. 3, with respect to amendments by the proposed by the Leader Majority Party, the committee chairperson, and 15 other members as listed in the order paper, and there were no such disclaimer is given, the amendments will proceed in the usual manner during the Committee of the Whole House. So, honorable members, I wish to report that my office is in receipt of the amendments proposed by the Honorable Member for Belgut, the Honorable Nelson Koech. One of the proposals in his amendment was to seek to amend Clause 1 of the bill to change the title of the bill from the Political Parties Amendment Bill to Political Parties Coalition Bill. I disallowed that particular proposal of the amendment since there is no law called Political Parties Coalition Act. Therefore, the proposed amendment is technically inadmissible. The House and the members are accordingly guided.
Mr. Chair,
and before we go to the next order, honorable members, I want to confirm that the minority report is under chapter 5 of the report that has been tabled. So it is confirmed. So, next order.
Order number 8, Committee of the Whole House.
Order, members.
So they can now bow. Honorable members, order. Order, members. Honorable members, we are now in Committee of the Whole House to consider the Political Parties Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 56 of 2021. Honorable members, I would just like you to relax. I would like you to relax, honorable members. Take your seats. I know there is quite a bit of excitement around this particular business, but it is our business. This business belongs to this House, and it will be dealt with in accordance to the rules of this House. So, honorable members, just relax. I will endeavor to be as fair as possible to all the members that have something to say to this business. Honorable members, just before we commence, yes. So I'm sure that all of us are prepared, and we are now about to start to deal with this particular bill. Very well, members. Now, taking into account the enormity of the business that is before us, but it's just normal business, I want to give this guidance just so that everybody is on the same page. I will be allowing probably about 4 members to make contributions on every item that will be before the House. 4, so that we shall have at least 2 from each side. At least 2 from each side. And then once we do that, if there's anything, then we'll give the business to the House to make a decision one way or the other. So we shall be fair.
Clause 3.
I propose that clause 3 be part of the bill. There is a proposed amendment by the Honorable John Mutunga and another one by the Honorable Alice Wahome. We shall take off with the one by the Honorable John Mutunga, and the direction is that if the one by the Honorable John Mutunga succeeds, then the one by the Honorable Wahome will be dropped. The Honorable Mutunga, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to move my amendment. It's clause 3. Honorable Speaker, my amendments in clause... Honorable Chair, my amendment basically looks at clause 3, especially section 4A. I propose that we add the word equity through. Honorable Speaker, if we read that particular clause, it does not seem to bring the meaning. And I wish to read that particular clause, Honorable Speaker. Clause 3, section 4A. Section 4A, Honorable Speaker, reads like this: that a political party may recruit and so on and so forth. I'm talking about C, part C. Part C reads promote representation in Parliament and county assemblies of women, persons with disabilities, youth, and so on and so forth. Honorable Speaker, I believe, Honorable Chair, I believe what we are trying to promote here is equity in representation.
The Honorable Chris Wamalwa, hold your horses. Let him finish moving. I'll allow you to speak after he finishes moving.
Honorable Chair,
proceed.
What we are promoting here is not representation. We are promoting equity through representation. That is why I'm proposing that we add the ones through representation immediately after the word promote, so that it will read promote equity representation in Parliament and county assemblies and so on and so forth. Because if you look at the different categories of representatives mentioned there, we are talking about equity, and the word equity is missing. So we are not promoting representation. We are promoting equity by picking relevant numbers of people of different categories so that they may be represented in this particular case. Honorable Speaker, I've also proposed some amendments in Part B, 4B. Honorable Speaker, 4B speaks about several reservation of the name, symbol, and slogan. Honorable Speaker, I propose that we also add the dominant color of the party. Parties are identified by colors. If a dominant party, if we look at party like ODM, ODM is identified by orange. Jubilee is identified by red. Wiper is identified by white, and so on and so forth. If we leave dominant color, there is a likelihood that people will take up other parties' colors later on, and we can have confusion. Honorable Speaker, we want to identify a congregation by colors. Any meeting that we shall have out there, or when the members of our party are meeting, they need to be identified by color. And that is why I'm proposing that we add dominant color as one of the what is supposed to be launched with the registrar of political parties. So in all situations where we are referring to the slogan, the symbol, and where we are referring to the slogan, the symbol, and the name, we also add dominant color. Honorable Speaker, I submit. Honorable Chair. Sorry.
Honorable members, Honorable Cliffs, just hold your horses. Let me propose, then you can move your... Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Honorable John Mutunga. The Honorable Chris Wamalwa, you had a point of order before we kick off.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, mine was a very simple seeking your direction because the way the order paper has been rearranged is not in that logical flow. So my humble request was, when a member is proposing an amendment, it will be neater to cite the page so that members can be able to follow. It was as simple as that, and that's why point of orders, Mr. Chair, they normally take precedence. I've struggled, but in the long run, I've realized it was page 1660. That's what I meant, so that members can be able to follow and be able to debate accordingly.
That is okay. That is in order. We shall now have contributions. The first one will be by the Honorable Wandai Opio, member for Ugunja.
Mr. Speaker, even before I make any comment on the Honorable Mutungi's proposal, Mr. Chair, you know, we all agree that we are at the committee of the whole House. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair, extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. Mr. Chair, if we are to go by what has just started, then considerably we will not be able to finish. My suggestion is, why can't we go by the amendment proposals as they appear on the order paper, without having to call upon the proposer to read it and explain? They are self-explanatory, Mr. Chair. We can all understand what the
Honorable Wandai.
Yes.
This is just the advice of this chair. All the amendments that we are considering here are listed in the order paper. If you have a copy of the special sitting order paper, you will see they are there.
I can see them.
And we'll just follow procedure. We will not be afraid to sit here until midnight if we have to. Don't be afraid.
I'm guided.
Yes.
But having said so, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair, the proposal being put forth does not make sense. And in my view, because there is no way you will have every party having a dominant color, because these colors are also not infinite in number. So parties will share colors one way or another. Parties will share colors. So with due respect, I oppose here.
The next contribution is by the Honorable Kositani, member for Soy. The member for Soy.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I think for us to be able to proceed, Mr. Chairman, we'd ask that you put the question. Yeah. Put the question.
Put the question that we move. Put the question. Honorable members, is it the mood of the House that we put the question on this? Honorable members, the Honorable Member for Soy has requested that we put the question on this. Is it the mood of the House that we do so? Will as members of that opinion say aye? Will as members of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The ayes have it. So we go to division. Honorable members, let's hold your horses. Order. The member for Dagoretti South.
What was the question? What was the question?
Just hold it. Honorable members, order, members. Order. Yes. Honorable members, the honorable members, just hold your horses. Honorable members, order. Order members, order members. Order members. The Honorable Kamket. Honorable members, let us have order. This is the direction, honorable members. The question that was put, honorable member, the question that was put was this. The question that was put was this, on whether to put the question on the Honorable Mutunga's amendment. So now we shall proceed to now consider the proposed amendment by the Honorable Mutunga by putting the question on it. What the Honorable Kositani had requested was for the question, whether the question should be put, and that is what this chair did. So now we shall proceed to put the question on what the Honorable Mutunga So honorable members, just hold your horses, and this chair will be fair. So now that's that question. Now, honorable members, now listen. This is now the question. This is now the question. This is now the business. This is now the business. The honorable members, this is the question now. And it is for the members now to make a decision on it. Just retain your seat. I am on my feet. I now proceed to put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Honorable John Mutunga. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the opinion say nay? The nays have it. Honorable members, honorable members, the members who voted yes have raised the numbers for division. We shall now proceed to division. We shall now proceed to vote by division. You have the numbers. So we shall proceed to vote on division.
The procedure is the procedure you followed last time.
Honorable members, we shall have tellers. We shall follow the procedure that was followed in this house last week. Just prepare yourselves. The division bell shall be rung. I direct that the division bell be rung.
The Honourable Member for Luanda, Honourable Chris Omlele, currently chairing the committee stage of the Political Parties Amendment Bill, has ordered that the bell be rung to allow members to vote on an amendment proposed by Tigania West Member of Parliament, John Mutunga. There has been divisions in the House as divergent factions objected to the ruling of the speaker, of the chair rather, that ruled that the nays had their way in the amendment by the Tigania West Member of Parliament. The MP sought to have clause 3 of the bill amended.
The ayes side should give us 2 tellers. The nays side should provide us with 2 tellers. So immediately after 5 minutes, I want to see 2 tellers from the ayes. I want to see 2 tellers. I want to see 2 tellers from the nays.
Ordering that each side proposes 2 tellers. This is to allow for the voting process to kick off. This followed a dispute that led to a division on this particular amendment by Honorable John Mutunga for Tigania West. And in his amendment of clause 3 that is sought to be harmonized into the bill, the MP was proposing that in the section 4